a third of Lake Taupo in volume since 2005. Stats NZ says total glacier ice volumes in Aotearoa, New Zealand, shrank by 42% between 2005 and 2023. That was a 22-kilometre decrease, equal to 37% of the volume of Lake Taupo. The World Meteorological Organization has said that at current rates of melting, many glaciers around the world will not survive the 21st century. 50 bus services, technology upgrades and plans to buy 59 new buses are to be cut in Wellington. The cutbacks are due to demands from the Transport Agency for Public Transport Authorities to increase their private share. That's the amount of money collected from passengers and advertising. Nick James reports.
The Transport Authority asked initially for higher targets for the private share, but Greater Wellington Regional Council says those would have been unaffordable. As a result, fares will increase from July by 2% and the off-peak trip discount will drop from 50% to 30%. Plans for 3 on-demand service rollouts, including in Tawa, will be ditched and upgrades for technology systems nearing obsolescence will not go ahead.
Health New Zealand is urging people heading overseas in the upcoming
Morning! Hello everybody, I'm just getting ready to go live today. It's nearly time for my show. Just doing a last couple of things, waiting for the news to finish.
Experiencing substantial outbreaks.
Got to find something to share. Good morning everybody.
It says there are no cases here yet, but Australia has already recorded 54 measles cases this year, mostly.
Just getting some final things ready.
He says New Zealand has lower vaccination rates than Australia.
My American system, I'm not in America.
Sir Elton John says he is blown away after scoring the 10th UK #1 album.
I've got a few community notices to do today on the show, so I'm just trying to find those and get them ready. Where are we?
First #1, Don't Shoot Me, I'm the piano player. 78-year-old Sir Elton.
Right.
It seems quite extraordinary his career had gone on so long.
Okay, how is everybody today? I'm just waiting for the news and the sport to finish and then I will be doing my show. Today is Walk on Your Wild Side Day. It's a day that's celebrated annually on the 12th of April and it's about doing stuff that might seem a little bit wild to others, but maybe not wild to you. I'd love to know what the wildest thing is you've ever done. I've done a few in my time. But it all adds to the excitement of life. Anyway, say hello, let me know where you're from. Oops, just trying to get myself fixed up here. So I think this is the 3rd live that I have done. I'm still getting used to and understanding how lives work, so bear with me. Plus I'm doing a live radio show just to, add to the excitement. Right, I just got to shut the door, keep the sound out.
Which Kenny wasn't always the case during their disastrous 2024 season. We weren't able to claw our way last year with those sort of tight ones, and this year we're getting over the line.
I'm wearing lots of pink sparkles today, and some love hearts.
Standings moving 1 point ahead of the Chiefs, who were beaten 21-14 by the Waratahs in Sydney. New Zealand have broken a 30-year drought by qualifying for the Billie Jean Cup Women's Team Tennis World Group Playoffs. The team led by world number 45 Lily Sun beat Thailand 2-1 in India overnight to make it 4 wins from 4 in the Oceania Group 1.
Still waiting for the news to finish.
In standings and are guaranteed to finish among the top 2 nations who will play off for a World Group place in November. English golfer Justin Rose continues to...
Oh, it's still going. Anyway, I'll just sit here patiently and wait. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. It is looking gorgeous outside here in Wellington, New Zealand. It's been a bit cold a couple of mornings, but heading for a top of 20 today, which is really lovely. And good morning to everyone on YouTube as well as TikTok.
I don't believe that I would have not signed. I believe the team can win trophies, and with the support of the fans and the city,
New Zealand driver Liam Lawson was 12th fastest on the first day of practice for the Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix. Driving for Racing Bulls, Lawson clocked the 8th fastest time in the first session, but was 12th quickest in the second. McLaren's Oscar Piastri was fastest overall. Meanwhile, New Zealand's Ryan Wood has top times on day one of practice for the Taupo round of the Supercar.
Come on, sport. Come on. Right, done.
Today on Music 101, I speak to Aotearoa Music Award finalist saxophonist Tabani Gapata. UK folk artist Jennifer Reid performed
Ready to hit the
alongside
button.
her in the studio, and screenwriter and thespian Duncan Sarkis is our guest on the mixtape. Music 101 with me, Maggie Tweedy, today from 1 p.m. here on RNZ. If you're clearing out, if you're downsizing, if you're on the move, think charity, think Te Omanga Hospice Shops.
This is live radio.
Repurpose your treasures
Can't
and
rush
donate
it.
any quality pre-loved furniture, homeware and clothing. We can turn your sofas into support, chairs into care, and tables into treatment. When you donate to the Te Omanga Hospice Shop, you are supporting people in our community living with terminal and life-limiting illnesses. Te Omanga Hospice Shops, Lower Hutt, Upper Hutt, Pitoni and Wainuiomata.
This is Brad Savage broadcasting from Akron, Ohio, USA. And I have a rather
Gotta let this stuff
extensive
go.
record collection.
What's everyone up to
Mixed
today? Have you got some exciting
global
things
radio show
planned for your weekend?
decades, 100 years of music.
I've got to go and do some painting today. I am painting a dot art mandala jacket for a friend of mine, and I need to finish it off because she's going to Africa and she wants to take it with her. So I've got to get on with that today. Okay, let's go. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday, happy weekend. Welcome to the Joy Temple program on Hutt Radio. My name is Janie. It is lovely to be with you today again, this beautiful Saturday. Hope your morning is starting off really well. Now, I'm going to put the joy bubble around us to keep all the joy in and keep all the other stuff out, because we just want to ease into the weekend, feeling relaxed, happy, feeling some good energy coming our way. And the best way to do that is to put a little bubble of joy around us and around those that you love. Now, my name is Janie, and I'll be here with you till about 11 o'clock this morning. And I thought I would just do a little bit of an intro because it has been a while since I have done one of those. So I've been doing this program now for just over a year, and I am loving it. It's a volunteer gig. It's great fun. If you want to volunteer and have your own radio show here in the Hutt, get in touch with the station because we are looking for presenters. Now, I am a life coach, happiness coach, sobriety coach. I live a very joyous and happy life, and love to just spread, good vibes around to everybody who I cross paths with. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm here at our station on High Street, and if you're walking by at any time, just check in the window. There might be somebody in here. Give us a wave, because we love to just, be part of the community and connect with others, outside of these four walls. Now, I love to start my show with a little bit of intention and gratitude, and today I am feeling grateful for my outfit. I think I'm wearing a really fun pink sparkly outfit and a pink sparkly hat today, and I think I just watched something recently. It might have been the Frida Kahlo movie. I watched that again recently, and I was quite inspired by her and her fashion, and it just made me realize that I have gone into a little bit of a fashion slump, and not that that's a bad thing. My life here is very different to Melbourne, where every day was a different kind of dress up day, whereas here it's a much more casual vibe here in Wellington. So most days it's kind of jeans and sneakers, but I thought, I need to just step it up a bit and put a bit more razzle dazzle back into my outfits. So I'm quite grateful for today's outfit because it is a lot of fun. If you can see it, I am live streaming on my TikTok, The Joy Temple, and also on YouTube, The Joy Temple. If you are into any of those platforms and you want to see what's happening behind the scenes here in the station, please jump on and say hello. I'd love to interact with you during the show. Now, my intention for this weekend, well, it's painting. I have to go and finish this mandala jacket that I'm painting for a friend of mine. She sent me a camouflage jacket. She's going to Africa, and she sent me a camouflage jacket and asked if I would put a dot art mandala on the back of it. And of course I said yes. And then I realised, well, we've got this big public holiday, stretch coming up. So I need to, what do they say? Pull your finger out and get on with it and get that ready to be posted within the next couple of days. So yeah, bit of pressure on. So that's my intention, going home to paint. Now, what else is happening? Back at work. Busy. Yeah, that's kind of it. Let's have a look at the weather, hey, because as I said, it is looking beautiful outside, and we are heading for a top today of 21. Oh my goodness, how lovely is that? It still feels kind of summery, actually. Been a few chilly mornings this week, but definitely beautiful out there. It's currently 16 degrees, and we are just heading for a fine day with some northerlies easing this afternoon. So how beautiful is that? So get out there if you can and just enjoy this beautiful weather. Tomorrow is also looking fantastic, 22 degrees. And what's it say about tomorrow? It's also going to be fine, but there'll be southeasterlies easing in the morning. So you never know with Wellington what the weather will be, which way the wind will blow, and where it will take us. Isn't that funny? Now, this week I was on a mentoring panel for the Women Infrastructure Network. We were talking about mentoring and the benefits of mentoring, and it was mainly focused around, I think, career. But I brought a bit of a different flavour to this because I feel that in order to have success, whether that's, in your career, you need to feel some success in your life. You need to feel like you have got some things in order, like you're feeling your happiness, your joy, feeling like you are on your right path. So it was really nice to bring a different angle to this mentoring this week and appreciate that a mentor can do incredible things to help make change in your life. And I hope that some of these lovely people who were there at that event really went home and thought about, whether a career mentor is something that they need, or whether just to have somebody who can help them, pursue their goals in other ways may also be an important thing. So I do love mentoring. I was there representing Dress for Success, where I volunteer. And if you are looking for a mentor, Dress for Success do have a mentoring program. It is free. It is open to everybody, and you can just make contact with them and let them know that you are interested in doing mentoring, whether that be for career, for personal, for health, for anything. There is just no boundaries when it comes to mentoring. So today's show is about walking on the wild side, because today is actually Walk on Your Wild Side Day. I'll be talking a bit more about that throughout the show. And I think one of the things that's really important for us as humans is to just be our authentic self, to just throw caution to the wind and just live with passion and joy and experience all the wonder that there is to offer out there. And I know it can be challenging, it can be very challenging, but once we start on that path to, finding our wild side, we don't want to turn back. If you have any wild stories that you would like to share, or if you have something that you've done that you felt was kind of wild, you can jump onto my YouTube or my TikTok and join the conversation today. Now, I am going to start off with a song. Let's get some music happening because, it is the radio. The last couple of weeks, I've had a few technical difficulties. It has been a little bit stressful, but hopefully today, while we're in our bubble of joy, nothing will go wrong with the technology. I'm going to start off with this song by Lucas Mack called The Universe Knows. This is a song that I discovered when I had Taryn Fian on my show. She is a breathwork specialist and a hypnotherapist, and we were both talking about how amazing breathwork is and how we both love Lucas Mack. And yeah, I love this song because it just makes you think about, you know, your connection to the universe, to ourselves, and how we are bigger than just our body. I'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Hutt Radio. My name is Jenny, and this is the Joy Temple. There we go. Show's underway, everybody.
Yo, I don't really with that. I believe I can do anything.
It's such a great song.
Manifest my dreams to reality, no cap. Guided by my intuition.
Why would someone ask me if I'm a Trump supporter? I'm not even in America.
Passionately connected to a higher power. We'll feel the synergy. It was
Oh,
meant to be. It's all
have I saw my feet recently? Like, excuse me, but I'm in a joy bubble. I'm not going to be interacting with such nonsense comments on my show.
We are here to play a part and open up the hearts and minds of every soul who wants to dance and liberate themselves from harm.
The universe knows just what I need. That's how I know I was gonna be. The universe knows just what I need. That's how I know.
And the universe is
Oh, right. I am in Wellington in Lower Hutt, New Zealand, and this is Hutt Radio. We're just a small station here. We have been running for a long time, and we are just based here on the main street in Lower Hutt.
And seen to teach us, believer. My spirit is my leader. I'm a Libra, finding balance in a world full of evil. I'm lethal. I already killed my
The
ego.
universe knows just what I need. That's how I know I was gonna be. The universe knows just what I need. That's how I know I was gonna be. Just what I need.
Well, oh, that's exciting, working in commercial radio. Whereabouts are you? What part of Australia are you in? I was living in Melbourne before I came here.
Just what I need. That's how I know I was gonna be. That's how I know I thought.
Oh, Queensland. Oh, nice. I lived in Brisbane for a long time. It was where I grew up, actually.
Perfect timing of the universe. And our arrival on Earth was a part of that synchronicity. You see, we must have faith in a universe that's created and guided by an intelligence greater than our ego. When we banish all doubt in favor of faith, there's nothing more powerful on this planet. You must believe, and then you'll see it unfolding right before your eyes.
Welcome back, everybody. That was Lucas Mack, The Universe Knows. Now, I have a little bit of a kind of couple of promos I need to talk about today before we get right into the show. As we are a community station, we do like to support things that are happening out in the wider world, and I have got two things to share. Now, I've had a guest on my show a couple of times. Her name is Taz Parsons, and she talks about the hot topic of sex and sex toys. And she has declared that the sex toy industry needs a good shake-up to make it sustainable, safer, and truly inclusive for pleasure. So she designs adult toys. She holds adult toy parties, and she has just recently launched a business called Essie, and that stands for Ethical, Sustainable, Safe, and Inclusive. And she is now crowdfunding to bring her vision of Essie to life. and she would love support from people to help produce and market their first trial range of high quality, ethical adult toys for all genders. She's crowdfunding on Pledge Me to raise money to see this vision come to life, and I believe that the crowdfunding shuts on Monday. So if you would like to help support this woman in her venture of bringing, you know, sexual wellness and well-being out to the world, then she is a fantastic person to support, because she is really paving the way to make the conversations happen around our sexual well-being and health, and it's such an important topic. And I'd love to have her back on the show and we can talk more about that at some time. And if you do want to help Taz, you can go to pledgeme.co.nz and search for Essie, and you will find all the information there about what she is doing in this incredible space. Now, the other thing I need to talk about as well today is an event that's happening. Now, this is not really meaning anything to me, but to some people it might kind of mean a great deal. This Saturday, Wellington is having an apprentice competition. It is going to be at Mitre 10 at Taita. Starts at 8 a.m, finishes about 5 p.m. And the competition is held in partnership with BCITO and is open to the public to come along. And they are doing some competitions. So apprentices will be coming in, putting on a show. They'll be creating a planter box using equipment provided by Mitre 10. And at the end of it, they'll be judged on their workmanship, accuracy, assembly, and time management. And then the planter boxes will be donated to a deserving recipient in the community chosen by the apprentice. And the regional winner will earn a $1,000 Makita and Mitre 10 trade prize pack, and then will be flown to Hamilton to compete in the national final in June. So there you go. So that's something today. If you're into watching people build stuff, head out to Mitre 10 in Taita and cheer on these apprentices who are doing this great work for our community. So there we go. I think we should go to another song, hey? Let's play right now Rebel Rebel, because today we are talking about walking on your wild side, and this is maybe just give you a little bit of inspiration to be that little bit of a rebel. There we go. So there was somebody on here on TikTok who was in Brisbane. Yeah, I grew up in Brisbane. I lived in Morningside. I've lived in West End, which was really cool. Maruka, which was also pretty nice. And I like Brisbane. But then when I moved to Melbourne, it was like, oh yeah, that's the place for me. Morning, Callie. I am fine, thank you. I've had a few new subscribers on TikTok, YouTube, which is really lovely. I really appreciate everybody. You know, there's a lot of people out there we can be following and supporting. And if you have come across me and you enjoy seeing my dancing and stuff like that and my outfits, then thank you. Thank you so much. So it is Walk on Your Wild Side Day today. Has anybody got any wild stories they would like to share? I'm going to share the wildest thing that my mum has ever done. So my mum comes on the show every time she comes to New Zealand. She's 86 now. She's currently in Japan. She lives in Tonga. And last time she came on the show, we talked about aging and what we were doing at the same age as me. So I'm 58, she's 86. She was not doing the same things that I am when she was 58, that's for sure. Oh, thanks, Callie. That's lovely. Are you in New Zealand? This song just takes me back to my teens when, yeah, things were a bit wild. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Hutt Radio. My name is Janie, and this is the Joy Temple. It's 9:29 a.m. on this beautiful Saturday morning. It is gorgeous outside. I cannot wait to get out and feel a bit of the sunshine today. Now, today is Walk on Your Wild Side Day. Who knew there was such a thing, right? And today we'll be talking about ways that you can live a more wild life. Nothing too crazy, nothing that's going to get you arrested or, you know, get a mugshot taken. But just things that we can do to perhaps step out of our comfort zone and explore life in a way that makes us feel a bit more energized and excited. I will be playing lots of songs that have a wild theme, like the Trogs, Wild Thing, Wild World, Cat Stevens, who else? Aerosmith, Walk This Way. So it will be kind of a wild theme that we're having today. And let's get into what Walk on the Wild Side Day is. So who feels that there's a need to live within the confines of what society deems are the rules? Or who feels that they need to follow a path that may not be the one for you? I think most people at some time feel that we need to be aware of what other people think, that we need to be living a smaller, less colourful life. And the world tells us that we need to live within these confines of routine, tradition, abeyance, and we are often driven by fear. So thankfully throughout history and right now, we have those people who have followed their own path and they've ridden the wave of innovation, uniqueness, and creativity to leave lasting legacies. So Walk on the Wild Side Day is a shout out to your inner champion to free the part of you that wants to see the world in your own way. And it's really hard when you feel like you need to live your life by other people's rules or other people's demands or traditions, you know, that have gone through generations of family, when you might want to just walk your own path and be your own person. And it can be really challenging because people can make us feel really awful if we don't do what the expectation is of what their boundaries set. So who will you be on Walk on Your Wild Side Day? So this is a day that you can go and just do something that makes you feel like you are just breaking out of your mold and doing something that makes you feel a little bit wild. And not only today, who will you be tomorrow? What will your wildness be tomorrow and the day after that? What are you going to do to make that wild barometer rise? I know for me, when I went on my journey of self-discovery when I was younger, it was about really questioning things, questioning like, why am I doing things? Where have my beliefs come from? Where have they been sitting in my life that have made me do certain things? And once I started to challenge not only by my beliefs but my values, things really changed for me. As I said, we're going to have a lot of songs today that do have a wild theme in them, and this one is Wild Thing by the Trogs. And this song helped kick off the musical revolution. It was and it is raw, loud, and gloriously untamed, just like we should be. Hi everyone! Thanks for joining me today on my TikTok Live and my YouTube. I like YouTube because it keeps a recording of my show, which is really fantastic. And TikTok Live is kind of new to me. It's something that I've not really done much of because I never had the permissions. So I'm just trying it out, see how it goes. Plus, you know, when you're on a radio show, you don't really see the person behind the scenes to know what they're doing, and it's a nice way to kind of build connection as well with somebody. So please say hi, let me know where you're from. I'd love to know what wild things you might have done, what brings you joy. We are in our joy bubble today, so don't let anybody try and burst that for you.
Wild thing, think you move. But I wanna know for sure. So come on, hold me tight. You move me.
I wonder what year this song came out. Oh, 1966. Oh my God, this song is as old as me.
Wild thing. You make my heart sing. You make everything move. Wild thing. No, wild thing. Shake it, wild thing.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Hutt Radio. You're tuned into 88.3 FM. We also stream on iHeart Radio as well. And today I am doing a TikTok live on the Joy Temple and also on YouTube, the Joy Temple. So feel free to jump onto either of those platforms and say hello. Now today we are talking about Walk on Your Wild Side Day, and let's talk about the history of this day. So there's this couple in America called Thomas and Ruth Roy, and they are the creators of this wild day. Now they have a website called Wellcat, WELLCAT.com, and I went onto that website last night. Now it is part random holidays, like just random things that people can celebrate throughout the year. And it's also part herbal online store. So they create all these crazy holidays and then they promote them and people get involved around the world. But they also have a range of herbs that are medicinal. I just wonder, maybe, have they been smoking some herbs? They have herbs and spices for the kitchen, and they also have a range of lotions and potions for our health and well-being. So there were some really interesting little things on their website. But this day was created to kind of poo-poo the rationale that we shouldn't be held back because of what other people think. And the creators of this day think that this is a really stupid concept, that we need to be worried about what other people think, and I totally agree. And one of the greatest strengths we can do is to just be ourselves, right? Not be bothered by what other people think or say or do to us or think about us, because really we just need to be consistent in our own choices, in our own joy, and just live our life how we want to live it. And when we don't care about what other people think, we are then free to be our true, authentic self, and then we have no limitations because we don't allow people to put limitations onto us. Now, history is full of people who have utterly changed the world by refusing not to be constrained by the shoulds or the belief, and this really applies to women, that nice girls don't do things, right? We should be letting our creative and inspired souls charge into the world and shake it up. And guess what? Nice girls don't need others telling us what we should or shouldn't do, you know? I feel as a woman, we are just living in this world where we are having pressure coming from so many ways. We are not good enough, we are not tall enough, we are not short enough, we're not thin enough, we're not young enough, and it's all nonsense, right? I don't know that anybody has the right, or they just don't have the right to be telling us who we should be and what we should do. And I know for myself, when I was younger, I really got sucked into that trap of really wanting to please others and putting that before my own pleasing myself and living my own life. So we only have one life to live, everybody. But, well, if you believe in reincarnation, you might believe you have more lives to live. But it doesn't matter whether you have one life or 1,000 lives. We need to squeeze the juice out of them. And we need to live them in our wildest, most, unashamed way. Now, I want to talk about the Akashic records, because I was just talking about reincarnation, right? Now, I had this other lady on my show. Her name is Tiffany Beese. She is amazing, right? Tiffany is an orthobionomist, and I went to see her last year after she came on my show, and she does this kind of spiritual healing. And I went to her, and when I went there, I didn't really feel that I had any pain or anything like that. I felt great. And she would just do things like touch parts of my body and go, is this hurting? Or can you feel something here? And I was like, oh, kind of. Anyway, she would just use this pressure that she applied to, like, might have been my hip or my leg or something. It never felt like anything, but honestly, when I went home that day, all I could do was go to bed, because I just went into this incredible level of pain through whatever she was doing. It was amazing. And I connected her with another guest on my show who had a concussion, and she's really worked well with this young girl to help her get through that as well. So Tiffany Beese is her name. She also reads Akashic records, and she told me that this is my last life. Can you believe that? She also told my partner Shakti that this is his last life. And that's why I'm making it my mission to just spread good energy and joy. That sounds fair enough. And have you ever had an Akashic reading? Like, what do you think about it? Do you believe it? Is it something that you're into? There is lots of YouTube meditations around being able to access your Akashic records, which are the records of your soul from past lives and this lives, and it gives you insight to what you could be doing to living your purpose and your passion in life. So there we go, the Akashic records. Now, when we live a life that is loud and unafraid of what people think, we can inspire others who may feel lost, and we can encourage them to join in on their own campaign of uniqueness. And being part of change for others is very exciting, and it has a snowball effect. Like, don't underestimate how your energy can impact on someone else and change their day in a really good way, and then their energy can then rub off to someone else. And you know what? Our dreams should be pursued. No matter how big or small, our ideas are worth discussing, no matter how wild or crazy they may seem, because you never know if one of these ideas or dreams will change your life or change the life of somebody else for the better. So when I come back, we are going to go through some ways to start thinking about how we can walk on our wild side, because We all just want to feel that freedom and joy to be who we are. Now I'm going to play Juice by Lizzo because we need to squeeze the juice out of life, don't we? I'm going to find that, cue it up, and then I'll be playing Wildflower by 5 Seconds of Summer after that. I'll see you again soon. It's 9:43. You're listening to Hutt Radio. This is the Joy Temple and my name is Janie. Oh, we've got this problem again. Let's get rid of that. I still think we've got some gremlins in here who've been fiddling with the media player buttons. Anyway, let's have some juice. I saw someone say a message in there about me being Australian. Yes, I am Australian. I was born in a little town called Maxville, which is on the north coast of New South Wales. It had about, I don't know, it probably still doesn't have many people there. I think there was about 2,000 people or something in that town. It's very small. It is near a beautiful part of the coast where they have incredible beaches like Scott's Head Beach, which is a really amazing beach. What else is around there? Coffs Harbour, the big banana is near there. And I was born in the hospital there. My mum was a midwife and she delivered lots of babies in the town of Maxville. So you may have driven through it at some point, but I think now it is cut off from the highway. They've put a bypass in. So but definitely worth a visit up around that area to go to like Nambucca Heads or Grassy Heads. So many good places up there. So today is Walk on Your Wild Side Day. I hope you get a chance to do something a little bit wild, depending on what wild means for you. So my partner Shakti has done something really cute this week. He's a cricket coach and he's made all of these gorgeous little certificates to give out to his kids who he coaches. Oh my God, they're so cute. And they were so excited to get a little certificate for their improvement in their batting or their bowling or their all-round cricket skills. It's amazing just how something so little can have such a big impact on somebody's well-being. So he's got about 40 kids who he coaches. So he's got to get on handing out more today. This is a sweet little song, Wildflower by Five Sauce.
I love the taste, and I can see it in your face. You got a side you can't explain. Telling me you wanna come over. You wanna be closer. I love when you lay your head down on my shoulder.
I'm going to make sure I got my phone turned off.
'Cause I know where tonight is going. You're the only one who makes me every time we tell you what I like. My wildflower. You're the only one who makes me every time we tell you what
I don't know what I can show you in the studio, everybody. There's not much really to see here. It's got to see me. We just came back from a holiday to Taupo, which was really lovely. And now we're thinking about our next place where we should go. We've not been to Christchurch. Is anyone from Christchurch or recommends we go to Christchurch? It looks really lovely. I've heard it's really lovely. So we might head down there. I really want to go to the Hamner Springs. Check that out. And I'd love to do the train ride across from Christchurch to Greymouth, I think it is. So much good stuff to see in this country. We're very lucky. Things happening out in the corridor. This is a really cute song, actually. There we go, wildflowers. Welcome back, everybody. That was Wildflower by 5 Seconds of Summer. That was actually a really, really sweet little song. I loved that. And before that, we had Juice by Lizzo. You're listening to Hutt Radio. It's 9:51 a.m. on this beautiful Saturday. I hope you've got something amazing planned for your weekend. Today I am talking about Walking on Your Wild Side Day, which is a day that's celebrated annually on 12th of April, which is today, everybody. And it's a day to cut loose, break free, and live your wild life. Does that sound scary? I think for some people that can sound really scary, and it can also sound like it has a mixed kind of message. And now, what is the wildest thing that you have ever done? And how did it make you feel? And what does it actually mean to be wild or have wild behaviour? It's not always about partying or being reckless, but it can be stepping outside of the norms in whatever way works for you. Now, I've done some fun stuff in my life, and people have often thought that I have been quite wild, which, yeah, I've been pretty wild. It's the best way to live your life, by having a little bit of a wild side. But when I reflect on this, on why people might have thought I've been quite wild, it does surprise me in a little way, because I think I have just been showing up. I have just been living with courage and living without fear and doing things that bring me true joy and just being me. So maybe when people are uncomfortable about doing things, you know, whether that be wearing loud clothing or public speaking or doing anything where they have a spotlight on them, that can make them feel like it's a bit wild. Now, when my mum was on the show last time, we were talking about aging, and I asked my mum what was the wildest thing she's ever done in her life. Now, she's 86, and she had to think about that for a minute, because my mum is, in a way, she's quite conservative, but, you know, she was born in the 1930s. She lived through the era where there was the war, where they had no power, you know, that she lived in a small country town. And so her life has seen a great deal of things, you know, come to life through people's ideas and, you know, ambitions. She loves the internet. She loves traveling, like she's in Japan at the moment. And when she thought about what her wildest thing was, she said to me, the wildest thing that she has ever done was when she was in Paris, and she, and I think this is hilarious and really cute, she jumped under the turnstile at the train station and didn't pay the fare to get on the train. I thought that was hilarious. So that's the wildest thing my mum has ever done. What's the wildest thing you've ever done? Now, I actually think one of the wildest things that I have done, and I still do it now, is every year on my birthday, I will find a public location and take a photograph of myself wearing nothing but my underwear and a smile. And I first did this in Melbourne, down by the Yarra River, and I remember it was the eve of my 50th birthday, and I wanted to do something that was memorable, something that put me out of my comfort zone, and something that has now become a bit of a tradition, and one that some of my girlfriends are actually embracing and asked me to come and take their photos, which is really cool. So I was down by the Yarra River. It was a beautiful, clear night. The city was just sparkling. I was out on a Tinder date and this person who I had kind of been Tinder dating for a while said, you know what, this is the moment. This is the moment that you should strip off to your underwear and take the photo with the backdrop of Melbourne behind you. Now, I wasn't wearing particularly, glamorous underwear, but that didn't matter. And I was like, you know what, this is the moment. I'm just going to seize the moment. So along South Bank, if you know Melbourne, there is a great many restaurants along South Bank opposite the city side. And I just found a spot. I took my clothes off. He got the camera, like my phone, started taking photos. And for a moment I thought, oh, I feel really self-conscious and what are people going to think? And then it was like, actually, I don't care. I really don't care what people will think, because I'm just doing me. I'm just living my life. And I look back at that moment and I was joyous, I was smiling, I was happy. And now I've gone on to do that each year since. And I've done that in different places in India, in different places of New Zealand. And it just, it's just one of those things that makes me feel a bit wild and also brings me a great deal of joy. So yeah, that was my mum's experience. So our visions and versions of being wild are very, very different. That's for sure. But being wild can be as simple as just letting your freak flag fly. And I'm going to play Get Your Freak On by Missy Elliott right now. This keeps happening. Okay, everybody, we have got this technical problem. There we go. That's so awful. I don't know why this happens. Anyways, we're good to go now. Right, what's the wildest thing you've ever done? My mum is so cute. When she told me about the train thing, I just laughed so hard. Because I'm like, okay, that's not that wild, but it was kind of cute.
People sing around, now people gather round, now people jump around. Get your freak on, 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 get your freak on. Who's that bitch? People you know, me and Timberland been high since 20 years ago. What the dealio? Now what the dealio?
Language warning.
Let me know. Got the feeling, son. Let me throw you some. People, here I come. sweat me when I'm done. We got the radio shook like we got a gun. Get your freak on, 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 get your freak on. Quiet. Hush your mouth. Silence when I spit it out in your face. Open your mouth, give you a taste. I love, ain't no stopping me.
Hey, this week, I don't know where this topic came up, but I was talking to my partner about Aussie slang. So my partner Shakti's Indian, and English is not his first language, and sometimes things get lost in translation. And one of the favourite words I've ever taught him is dunny. He loves it. He's like, I'm off to the dunny. And Australia and New Zealand have some great slang. And then the other night he was looking at cricket jobs in Australia, and I said, oh my God, that's in whoop whoop. He's like, whoop whoop, whoop whoop. I'm like, whoop whoop, you know, whoop whoop. And he didn't know what whoop whoop was, so I've had to explain to him that whoop whoop is just like somewhere remote, and you know, you don't want to go to whoop whoop, right? But I was thinking I might do a TikTok live with him and ask him to tell me what slang words mean. Like, I'll tell him a word and he can tell me what he thinks it means, because honestly, some of the things he says when I tell him slang words, it's just too hilarious. I said, what does a bun in the oven mean? Who knows what that means? Well, it means you're pregnant, you got a bun in the oven. He thought it was something to do with how you put the bun in the oven. So he has a really funny way of trying to understand what some of these slang words are. And I said, well, maybe you could tell me your slang words as well, and I'll try and guess what they are.
Now that I've lost everything to you, you say you wanna start something new, and it's breaking my heart you're leaving. Maybe I'm breathing, but if you wanna leave, take
Hi, if you've joined, thank you.
a lot of nice things to wear, then a lot of nice things turn down.
Means you the chimney. Oh yeah, up the duff. Yep. Have a yeah, he didn't understand what it was, bun in the oven. Pregnant, same in Scotland. Have you heard of up the duff? Yeah, I heard of up the duff. Means you the chimney. Oh no, I haven't heard that. Funny. What other slang words do you have in Ireland? Aussie has so many. It's just hilarious. But I think it would be a lot of fun if he tries to guess them. Like tinny, what's a tinny? For some people it's a boat. For some people it's a beer. I had to explain to him what chunder was, because he didn't know what chunder was. I said, when was the last time you had a chunder? He didn't know what that meant.
It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Ooh, baby, it's a wild world. I always remember you, a child girl.
Welcome back, everybody. That was Cat Stevens' Wild World. It's 10:04 a.m. Happy weekend, everybody. You're listening to The Joy Temple. My name is Jenny. This is Hutt Radio. We live stream on iHeartRadio, and today I am also live streaming on my TikTok and YouTube, which is The Joy Temple. So you're welcome to jump on either of those platforms and come and say hi, and just be nice to see you, say hello, as well as have you join in the show. Now today we are talking about wild behaviour because it is Walk on Your Wild Side Day, a day where you're encouraged to just do something that's a little bit wild, something that pushes you out of your comfort zone, something that maybe people wouldn't expect of you to do, and to embrace it and just let it become part of your normal living. Now, people think wild behaviour is about getting into trouble, about being rebellious, doing things that might hurt other people, and some of that stuff is wild, but not in a good way. So what we're going to do is look at some ways for us to go against the grain and to live a little bit more of a wild life, one that is going to, open up your world, hopefully. Now, the first thing we can do to live a bit more wildly is to break the rules. And by rules, I mean break the right rules. Don't break the wrong rules. Don't go running red lights or doing silly things like that. But choose to live in your truth instead of following what society expects us to be or do. Do you have a job that you don't really love? And I'm not saying go and quit your job, but I'm saying that maybe start putting the steps in place to work towards the job that you want to do, one that's going to, fuel your fire inside. Maybe you want to follow that creative passion of yours, and you can do that in conjunction with your day job, which is what I do. I do a lot of stuff out of work that fuels my passion. Speak up when something's uncomfortable. Say no when you're supposed to. We're expected to say what people want to hear sometimes, and that's not always the right thing to do. And that's been a really big learning for me in my life. Like, often, as I said, I was a people pleaser, and I would go along with what was expected of me, behave in ways that other people expected me to behave. And people pleasing does not do anything for you or the other person, in fact. Feel free to love who you want to love and be who you want to be, and dress how you want, and form your own identity. People are quick to tell us what we should be wearing and how we should be wearing it, and I say poo-poo to that. Live a life that is unfiltered and unedited. And this was one of my kind of breakthrough things in my life, where I learned to live unfiltered and really choose not to care what anybody thought, because it was affecting my happiness. It was affecting my ability to really truly understand myself, who I was, like what my identity was. And this is because I was not exploring my own authentic life. And it became very liberating when I did start to live this unfiltered life and do the things that I wanted to do instead of what people expected me to do. Be messy, be loud, be emotional, be bold, and be strange. And don't dull your shine to fit in or please others. Show your true self and your authenticity. It's really important. Be the person who laughs out loud in the quiet room. Or, like me, dance like nobody's watching. I dance every day. It brings me such joy. And I actually do it because I want to do it. And I just love it. And wear something that is outrageous and makes you feel good. We should be chasing freedom instead of approval. Choose experiences over expectations. Prioritize adventure, discovery, and your inner peace instead of fitting into the same sized box as everybody else. And I think, there's part of us who want to feel a connection to somebody else that we are inspired by, which is fantastic. Like, use those people to inspire you to take your step up the ladder to be who you want to be and do the things you want to do. But we don't have to be like everybody else. It's really exciting when you discover things about yourself that you know nobody else might do. And you just start to form that identity, form your own beliefs, make your own traditions, make your own way, and it's really exciting. Travel solo, that's a great way to discover freedom. Start over in a new place. Now, I did this when I was 48. I left my terrible marriage in Brisbane. It was quite an emotionally abusive marriage. It took me a long time to leave that relationship because, when you're in an abusive relationship, there's this kind of revolving door, that the expectation is that somebody apologizes, they say they'll change, things never change. As a woman, as a person in this relationship, I constantly believed that today was the day things would change, and they never did. And, that moment came where it's like, this is it, this is enough, I'm out. I moved to Melbourne. I had nothing but a job. There was a lot of sexually transmitted debt. Has anyone had that? It's awful when you have a debt after leaving a relationship. But making this big jump from Brisbane to Melbourne and just having faith that everything was going to be okay was so fantastic. It was my pathway to healing. It reignited my spirit and just helped me find my joy again. And it was just, it was fantastic. So freedom is so important. And if we are in a job or a relationship or a situation where our freedom is feeling like it is suffering, ask yourself the question, is this the right place for me? Is this what I want my life to be like? And if it's not, be courageous and start to make the change. Freedom can also be doing something just purely for the thrill of it, like skydiving. I'm not going to do that. Performing, maybe you want to be in a play or a singing group or something like that. Start on your passion project. Or maybe you might like your own radio show, just like me. I'm going to do a little bit of a promo about our shows because we have 5 live shows coming out of our studio here at Hutt Radio here on High Street. Now on our social media you may see ads coming up. We're looking for presenters and we are looking for people who might like to have their own show. It's a lot of fun. You get really well supported with training. It is a volunteer gig, so it's a passion project, but there's something really nice about giving back to the community in this forum. And we have, as I said, 5 shows, and I'm going to let you know what our other shows are each week in case you're interested in tuning into any of those. So me today, the Joy Temple with Janie from 9 till 11 here on Saturdays. After me from 11 till 1, we have Light in the Valley, and this is a Christian music and life reflection through the gospel program with Angelica and her team that come in. On Sundays, we have the Fresh Brew Show with Ted. Ted is back, which is fantastic. He was overseas for most of March, but he is back on air now, and he's in from 11 till 1. And Ted keeps us up to date with what's happening on the local music scene, and he interviews some of the Wellington's hottest and upcoming bands, which is really cool. On Tuesdays from 1 to 2 p.m, we have Andrew Hardwick with his Change Habits and Thrive program. And each week, Andrew covers a different topic related to habits and how we can change them. And on Wednesdays from 12 to 2, we have Ryan, DJ Doo-Wop, who's here in the studio. He brings his turntable in, he spins some vinyl, he does vinyl chat, music and venue promos, gig guides, and film and album reviews. So there we go, that's our live shows. If you would love to be a presenter on Hutt Radio, we would love to have you. You can get in touch with, well, you can get in touch with me at the Joy Temple, or you can get in touch with the station at hello@Hutt Radio. Not only do we want presenters, but we'd love some other volunteers who might have some skills to help us, such as radio producers. Maybe you know how to produce a show. It would be really fantastic to have you on board. Social media people. There's plenty of things here if you're looking for a volunteer gig to help out with the station. And we'd really like to thank Neko Nehru, who are our sponsors and provide space in this building for us to run the station. It's really cool. Let's have some more music, hey? I'm going to play Taylor Swift, Wildest Dreams. We are talking about wild things today, and here she is. Thanks for joining me, everybody, on my TikTok live today. I really appreciate it.
No one has to know what we do. His hands are in my hair, his clothes are in the room, and his voice is a familiar sound.
Does it make anyone uncomfortable when they feel like they want to break out and just live a life different to what they have? I know for me, when I was younger, I just felt like I was in this confined box, not knowing who I was or what I wanted, and it was just really nice to start to explore that, to start to go on that journey of self-discovery and do the things that made me happy and brought me joy. That's all we need to do in life, stuff that makes us happy and brings us joy. Oh, and probably go to work to pay our bills. I never thought I'd be playing Taylor Swift on my show. But I am. So you never say never. What's everyone up to today? Got any good plans? Doing anything exciting? I'm going home to paint. That's exciting. This is the Strumbrellas. I've never heard of them before. All right, I'm going to get the... Here's our studio, everybody. This is our studio. This is our couple of decks that we use here for our music. There's a real world out there. Not much else to see, really. This tripod decided to break, though. I better fix that up. That could be a disaster. Oh, the whole thing's come apart. Okay, let's see if we can fix that up. There we go. Yeah, it's a cute little studio. There's just room for a couple of people to come in and hang out. There, I'm just doing some maintenance. Sorry, that probably sounds very annoying. All right, here we go. Done. Okay, right, maintenance done. How's our song going? Is anyone online from New Zealand? Are you living for red kiwi fruits at the moment? They are like the magic fruit. So good. I don't know if anywhere else in the world has red kiwi fruit, but man, oh man, they are too good. Welcome back, everybody. This is Hutt Radio. My name is Janie. You're listening to the Joy Temple Show today. It is 10:23 a.m. Now, I just played Taylor Swift, Wildest Dreams, and the Strumbrellas, Young and Wild. Let's have a little look at the weather again. It is looking beautiful outside. Nothing looking wild out there, that's for sure. We're currently at 20 degrees, everybody. It is beautiful. Heading for a top of 21, and it will be fine with northerlies easing this afternoon. A low of 10, a little bit chilly, but not too bad. I think it was 8 the other morning, but felt like 4. I needed to reach for the jacket. And over the Easter break, I am going to do my clothes swap. Who else does a clothes swap and puts their summer clothes away and gets their winter gear out? Now tomorrow will be 22 degrees and overnight of 13. It is looking just beautiful this weekend, and might be nice weather for ice cream, I reckon. Now, I am talking today about living a wild life because today is Walk on Your Wild Side Day. It is celebrated on the 12th of April. It was started by a couple in America who make all these crazy holidays that they share with people to celebrate, and this is one of them. I don't actually feel like living a wild life is that crazy. It feels kind of good. And I am talking about different ways that we can add a bit more wildness into our life, just to make us feel like we are living the life we want to live, do the things that we want to do, not doing things that others expect us to do. I've talked about living unfiltered and unedited, choosing freedom for your life, and now I'm going to talk about radical self-expression. And this is where we use our voice, our body, our creativity, and our life to express who we really are. Make that bold art or music. Create a lifestyle that doesn't match the typical path. We don't have to follow everybody else's path. We don't have to walk in their shoes. We need to make our own path. We can also write our truth. Who loves writing? One of the things I discovered about myself was my love of writing. I remember I was never a great communicator. It was something that was very uncomfortable for me, and I think I had my worst communication moment in high school when we used to be forced to do debating. It was awful. I hated it, and I was not somebody who would prepare. Now I'm very prepared with things I do, but that's the beauty of age and learning. You do discover the tips and tricks of life. But I remember being in this classroom, and it was my turn to stand up and take part in the debate, and I just stood up and I said, I've got nothing. And I laughed and I sat down, and I remember that magic moment as one of those things in life that was just like, it was awful, it was uncomfortable. I was just being me, I was just being honest. But what I have discovered over the years is that my love of communication has certainly come to the fore, and writing is one of those things that, for some reason, I started a blog. I discovered that I love to share little stories and anecdotes with people, and it was really a beautiful way to express myself. And when you're putting your thoughts down on paper and getting a lot of those things out of your head, it really does, clear space for other stuff, and it's really incredible how that happens. And I think one of the things that we all feel pressured for at the minute is time, and knowing what to do with our time. But again, it comes back to doing stuff that really brings you joy. We need to live from the heart, not from fear, by choosing courage over comfort and being vulnerable, and taking emotional risks, loving fearlessly and forgiving quickly. That's aligning with our heart values, and that's really important. Tell people how much they mean to you. Say honestly, I don't know, if you don't know something. Sometimes we try to guess, or we try to, again, it's the people pleasing, trying to say stuff that we want other people to hear. Be honest with your conversations. Take a leap, even if there is no net. It's amazing how you end up landing on your feet, even when you think you may not. And start that journey of self-discovery. Honestly, it will never fail you. It will never fail you when you make that decision to want to make change in your life, to want to be a better person, to do better things, and it just takes that decision and that one step to go forward. Now, being wild is not about being in chaos, or being out of control or breaking the law. It is really about being in your power, in your truth, and being fully alive. I just love the sound of that. And there is so many, so many ways out there that we can be supported, with this. You've got incredible people like Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins, so many people out there who can give us great insight into living the life of our wildest dreams. What else? Living from the heart, not from fear. I think that's kind of enough on that. We just owe it to ourselves to make that decision and make a start. I'm going to play another song now, and this is Happy by Pharrell.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here.
Who loves this song?
Hot air balloon after those things. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here comes bad news, talking this and that. Give me all you got, don't hold back.
I haven't seen too many wild things come through the feed. I'd still love to know, what is your wildest thing you've done, or what is something that brings you joy? Oh, I'm feeling happy. Maybe you're having a little dance. Nyan Rai, you're telling me I cannot trust. I don't understand what that means. I'm telling people to trust their self, trust their inner guidance, trust that the universe will look out for them, trust that things will be okay. I mean, I've had a lot of stuff happen and I've thought, what's happening here? What is going to happen to me? But things have always worked out. Trust that little voice inside of you that, we need to listen to. This song just makes me want to get up and play air guitar. Now, last week I was sharing with people that I'm going to get some work done on my teeth. And when we were in Topol, we were in this op shop, and a lady was there talking about going to Thailand to get her teeth done. And she gave me the name of a dentist over there. She said all her friends go there and they're very happy with the work. But when I looked at the reviews, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. So I've been looking at Bali, looking at Thailand, but I think I'll probably go back to India. I think that might be the place to go. They have really great dental work over there, and because we are based in Bangalore, when we go to India, I should be able to find someone really good to do it. But, oh my goodness. It's funny when you read reviews of stuff, you just don't know what to believe, right? Because everybody just has their own experience and opinion. So anyway, we'll see. But I definitely have to go. I've got to get a tooth implant because I've just had to have a tooth taken out. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I didn't realise when I first moved to India in 2019 that I should have probably had my dental work done there. So I was there for 9 months. I followed my heart to India. That's wild. Meeting a man on Tinder, deciding to let him move in 2 weeks, and then following him to India. And here we are 8 years later. That's kind of wild. Cute wild. But yeah, I should have got it all done then. Didn't think about it. Oh, I should do a show about Tinder stories, right? Because, I've had a few. I actually went to Fiji with a man I met on Tinder. There was no hanky-panky. He paid for everything. It was fabulous. Yeah, maybe I should do a show about that. Who's got some wild dating stories they'd like to share online? Me? Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to Hutt Radio. It's 10:38 a.m. That was Aerosmith, Walk This Way. And before that, we had Pharrell with Happy. Now, today I'm talking about being wild. It is Walk on Your Wild Side Day, a day where you can just do something that you feel is a little bit wild and not feel embarrassed about it, uncomfortable about it, awkward about it. Just acknowledge that it is a day that you can do that. So go for it. And I was just saying before that being wild isn't about being in chaos, being out of control or breaking the law. It's about being in your power, in your truth, and fully alive. That's what being wild can feel like. And it's about breaking free from doubt, fear, and from pretending to be somebody who you aren't. Shake off the routine, embrace who you are, or move in the direction of the person that you want to be. Now I'm talking about ways that we can live a more wild life. Say yes to something that scares you, like something good, right? Something that's going to scare you in a good way. Book that solo trip, even if it is just a night away on your own. One of the things that used to make me feel really uncomfortable was going and eating in a restaurant by myself. Like lunch fine, breakfast fine, but when it was time to go to dinner, and this happened a lot when I moved to Melbourne, just going to eat in a restaurant by myself felt really, really awkward. I soon got over that. So do something solo. Learn a new skill or a hobby, or even challenge yourself to a public speaking gig. Terrifying, but exhilarating. And fear fades when you start to embrace your fear and start to, acknowledge that, yep, I have a fear. Do I want to hold on to this fear? Do I want to release this fear? Once you make that decision, the fear will start to fade. And the more you work through those fears, the more open and free your life becomes. So do something that your future self will thank you for, and something that will make your world bigger. And I think this is one of the, a really nice way to look at life is like, if you were to draw a circle, where are you sitting? Are you in a space where you feel like you are just in this tiny little space, or are you in a circle where this circle is expanding with the things you do, with the people you're with? Let that world become really big, because then there's more to do, there's more to explore, there's more to see, there's more to challenge yourself with. Now let's talk about dressing for you. Now clothes are one of those things that people often tell us that we should or shouldn't be wearing. I have had this in my life. I have to say, even my mother has sometimes questioned some of my outfits. And I just go, well, you know what? I'm doing me. I am living my life the way I want to, and I'm going to wear what I want. Now, is your style on autopilot? Are you living black and white when you probably want to be living in colour? And I meet so many people who say, I can't wear colour, or I'm too uncomfortable to wear colour. They don't want to stand out. They don't want to be seen, and I understand it. But our style plays a big part of our identity, and it really does have an impact on how we feel. I know that if I wear black, I love black. I think it's the most incredible colour, and I love wearing black. But I also feel that when I wear colour, it just brings life to me. I feel like I'm a little bit of a walking piece of art sometimes when you're out there in all your colourful glory. How do you feel when you put on an outfit do you love? If it makes you feel good, do more of that. And if you aren't sure of your style, then there are people who can help. Or even just going somewhere and trying on different outfits is really a good way to decide whether something works for you or not. Do you get joy from op shopping? Now, I love op shopping. It's one of my favourite things to do, and it's also a great affordable way to experiment. And I talked before about Dress for Success, which is a place where I volunteer. And what I love about this organisation is that you can go to them and you can request an outfit, you can request a styling session, and they can help you work out the colours, the styles and the looks that are going to help you feel fantastic. And a lot of people think that Dress for Success is really just about helping people through getting work, getting outfits for work, but that is not the case. And I know with some of the big fashion parades that I have organised for them, we've had incredible garments come through, and when I have dressed our models for these shows, they have gone from feeling like they were living a little bit small, to feeling like their outfits were adding value to who they were. So never underestimate the power of clothes, and be your own fashion icon. Wear the wild print, the fabulous jacket, the bold lippy, and don't save those good outfits for later. We need to be wearing them now. Other ways that we can live a wild life is to speak our truth instead of being quiet. Our voice really does matter, and whether it's telling somebody how you really feel or standing up for your values, your voice matters. Do you have something that you need to say to someone today? Or maybe today's the day to say it. Feel that desire to get something off your chest and go for it. And what I've discovered is if I hold on to things that I need to say to people, I start to feel really anxious about it. I start to feel uncomfortable. It makes my stomach churn. So I really now just like, if I've got something to say, it's like, boom, here we go. And I'll do it in a way that makes everybody still feel good. Not that I have a lot of bad conversations with people. I certainly don't do that. But if something is bugging me, I will speak it up. And this has been one of the great learnings in, my relationship, is that being able to speak up and to be heard and respected is just such a beautiful, beautiful thing, because that was not the case for me previously. Other ways we can be wild is do something that you've been putting off. Get started on something that you might be passionate about. You don't need to be ready, you just need to start. I learned a great trick a while back, and it's called ready, fire, aim. Has anyone heard of this concept? I thought it was so fantastic, because often when we have a goal or a desire to do something, we keep putting all these little steps in place to get us to that part where we're ready to say, okay, let's launch it, let's do it. But sometimes what we need to do is just take the shot, okay? Shoot the arrow. It doesn't matter where it lands. The fact is you have taken the shot, and then you can see where you need to keep moving the dial to start to find that bullseye. Write your poem that you want to write. Start your podcast. Apply for the dream job. Start a weird, wonderful project that lights you up. Just start. Today, on Walk on Your Wild Side Day, just start. Because if we don't start, we're going to live with regret, and nobody wants to feel like there is regret in life. So there we go. We can do that as well today, amongst plenty of other things that I've been sharing. This one I really think's an important one, and it is about unfollowing things that drain you and following things that light you up. Create a life that is like a piece of art. Your time and energy deserve better than filling it with things that do not spark your joy. And one of the questions I would get asked when I'm mentoring is like, what is joy? How do I feel joy? You start to feel joy by acknowledging the things around you that are making you feel good inside. That joy can be from seeing the sunrise, from seeing somebody you love, from having that first cup of coffee of the morning, from just any little thing that starts to light up this little place here, your heart. All these little joyful moments start to add to that journey of happiness. So we need to be following our heart and doing things that make us feel joy. Do the things that we enjoy doing. And if you follow Abraham Hicks, this is one of her messages around, when we know what we like, we don't do the things we don't like, okay? I've worked in jobs I haven't liked, and I've learnt from those jobs, and I've learnt that I never want to go back to working in those jobs. So I'm going to not go in that direction anymore. I'm going to go in the direction of doing things that make me feel good, energized, excited, and happy. So what can you let go of today on Walk on Your Wild Side Day that is holding you back and stopping you from heading on your path towards true joy? It's a really important question I think that we should all ask ourselves. Another thing we can do is be extra. I love this. Now, I used to work for a mining company in Australia, and when we would have our kind of staff get-togethers, one of our big bosses used to talk about being extra, right? We can be ordinary or we can be extraordinary. And being extra involves us asking ourselves, what are the rules that we have for ourselves? What are your limitations? What are the labels you or other people are putting on you? Are they relevant, and do you need them? And one of the things I'm really conscious is labeling myself with anything. And I'm going to use an example of menopause, right? Lots of conversations are happening around menopause in the workplace, perimenopause, all of that stuff. For me, I don't give myself a label. This is just life doing its thing. This is my body doing its thing. I don't need to give it any more attention than anything else I do. I just let it do its thing. So I am really conscious of not labeling any aspect of my life. Being extra, ask the question, are you living a small and quiet life and wishing that it was loud and large? If that's what you want, turn the volume up. Turn the volume up from being good to being great, and start to experience and imagine and embody what it is you want your life to look like. Amplify it. Put the UE boom on and go for it. We can be creative without needing a goal. I love to make art, music, stories, doodles. I love anything crafty, and I used to think I needed to do it for a real purpose. But what I discovered was that I just get joy from doing anything that is using my hands and in that creative space. So explore that part of your brain and let that creativity flow. And I hear lots of people go, oh, I'm not creative, I don't know how to be creative. Find a way. Find something that you can do, even if it is just putting a dot on a piece of paper and then another dot and then another dot. Start to create, start to let go, and just let those ideas flow. Spend a day like nobody is watching. Our time is precious and it deserves some spice. Now, when was the last time you went tech-free? Or wore something silly? Or talked to strangers? Or took the long way home? Or totally broke your daily routine? Every day has unlimited and untapped potential. So why not create your own adventure and shake up those neural pathways, right? Because it's going to expand your world. I think anything that we can do that breaks our routine is really important. We have our brain keeps us safe. It keeps us doing the things we know what to do. It keeps us in the mode of routine. So the best way to break that routine is to start to do different things and start to do things that you really enjoy and love. Now I'm coming to the last thing here on my list of ways that we can live a more wild life, because it's 10:53. My time on air this morning is nearly over. I really enjoyed this segment. Even for me, I've got a lot of learnings out of this in terms of thinking about how I can, continue on my path to feeling more fulfilled and happy and joyful. And the last thing I want to talk about is dance. Dance like nobody is watching. I love to dance. I dance every day. Sometimes my partner dances with me. I'll go to work. I'll be dancing around. Sometimes people might want to join in. Sometimes they look at me like I'm a weirdo. I don't actually care. Move your body. Get that energy flowing through your body, and don't underestimate the power of dance, whether it be for a minute or for 10. What's your theme song? Have you got a theme song? Turn that song on and just, go for it. Strut your stuff. Have that music on while you're doing your housework or just hanging around. Do you have a mixtape of your favourite dance songs? I know I've got so many songs that I love for dancing. And one of my songs that I love is Praise You by Fatboy Slim, and I'm going to play that. And I went to a wedding once, and this was the song that the bride and groom played at their wedding, which I thought was really, really cute. So I'm going to play this, and what I love about this song is that the film clip is so good. These people are just dancing out in public, living their best life. The song's fantastic. So take some time to dance. I'm also going to play after that another song called Feel the Music by Grant Nelson, just because it is such a fantastic song. And hopefully I'll be back to have a bit of a sign off. Let's see how we go. We've only got a few minutes left of the show, but let's enjoy Praise You by Fatboy Slim. I love this song. I've got to be out of here by 11 for the next group that come in for their show. So I'm going to start packing up. I hope you've enjoyed the live today. I will have to switch off soon, but I hope that you do get a chance today to go and do something that makes you feel wildly good, brings you joy, lets you feel like, you know, you're actually living the life that is bringing you pleasure and happiness. It's so important that we follow that path and not let anybody else tell us what we should be doing or how we should be living our life. It's so important. So you've got to be wild. Morning on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in today. I haven't had anyone tell me anything that wild that they've done, so they're either just living wildly or not comfortable saying. Oh my God, this song is so good. It's so good. Getting ready to pack up. All right. I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should. Well, everybody, that is the show today. We've been talking about walking on your wild side. Celebrate what makes you different. The world needs your vibe, your joy, your laugh, your healthy obsession, or a weird skill or ability that nobody else has. And the best way to be wild is to just be you in your true, authentic glory. So thank you so much. I will see you next week. This is Hutt Radio. My name is Jenny, and I am going to leave you with, it was going to be a different song, but I have changed my mind because I'm allowed to do that. I'm going to play Steppenwolf, Born to be Wild. I'll see you next week, everyone. Okay. My live is over, everybody. Show's over. Got to get out of here so that the next group can come in and do their show. Thank you for joining me today. It's been really lovely seeing everybody online. I really do appreciate it, and thank you. And I'll be back next week. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Get out and enjoy some sunshine and get wild. Bye.